All right, let's dive in. We're going to talk about a world that, honestly, feels like it's straight out of science fiction. But it's not. It's happening right now. Our homes, our cities, even our own bodies, they're all getting smarter, more connected every single day. So what does that actually mean for us? Just think about your own home for a second. Maybe you've got a smart thermostat that kind of learns your schedule, or lights you can turn on and off just by talking to them. It's wild, right? And the source material we're looking at today really gets into how all this stuff works. It's all about connecting everyday objects, putting them on a network to, well, make our lives a little easier. This kind of convenience is becoming the new normal, and it's all powered by one really big idea.
And that big idea, it's the Internet of Things, or what everyone calls IoT. It sounds complicated, but at its heart, it's actually pretty simple. You take a normal object, stick some sensors in it, and connect it to the internet. That's it. Suddenly, these things can talk to each other. They can gather up data, and they can make decisions, a lot of the time without us having to do a single thing.
Okay, so this is way bigger than just, being lazy and turning off your lights from the couch. The potential here is absolutely massive. We're talking about a technology that stretches all the way from our own living rooms to the very foundations of our entire society.
And this is where the source material really paints a picture of just how incredible the scale is. It starts small, right? It looks at all the little sensors and systems in one smart home that make one person's life easier. But then it zooms all the way out to a smart city. And you see how the exact same ideas are being used to manage huge things like traffic, the power grid, and public safety for literally millions of people. It's the same basic concept, just on a completely different level.
And the reach of IoT is just staggering when you think about it. We've got smart homes making our daily lives easier. We've got smart cities making traffic flow better to save fuel. We've got smart farms keeping an eye on crops to grow more food with less water. And smart logistics? Well, that's how you can track a package from some warehouse halfway across the world right to your doorstep. It is weaving its way into, well, pretty much everything.
So, what happens next? What happens when you give all this connectivity a brain? When you take this massive network of connected things, the IoT, and you combine it with the crazy powerful decision-making of artificial intelligence, well, that's when you get the next giant leap forward: AI robots.
And listen, we're not talking about those clunky, slow-moving robots you see in old movies. No way. The source material shows we are talking about incredibly sophisticated machines that are doing seriously complex jobs in medicine and customer service in our factories. Look at this. This is a surgical robot that can perform operations with a precision that no human could ever match. And that's just one tiny piece of the puzzle.
And their impact is just exploding everywhere. In healthcare, yeah, they're helping in surgery, but they're also crunching massive amounts of data to spot diseases way earlier. In customer service, you've probably already talked to an AI chatbot and maybe didn't even realize it. In our factories, they're basically the backbone of modern manufacturing. And they're even showing up in schools, creating learning plans tailored to each individual student. It's amazing.
So what does all this add up to for us, for society? Well, this huge wave of connectivity and automation is set to completely change the world as we know it. And, in a lot of ways, for the better.
On a personal level, the upsides are pretty obvious. More convenience just means more free time for us to do the things we actually enjoy. And when you talk about AI in healthcare, we're looking at better diagnoses, treatments designed just for you. And yeah, that could absolutely lead to us all living longer, healthier lives.
But then you zoom out, and on a global scale, the promise is even bigger. Think about it. Smart power grids that stop wasting so much energy. Smart farms that use every drop of water perfectly. Supply chains that cut down on fuel. All of this tech offers a real path to a much more sustainable and efficient planet.
Okay, so this all sounds pretty amazing, right? It's like a perfect world of convenience, great health, total efficiency. But it can't be that simple. It never is. So, what's the catch? What's the downside here?
Because here's the thing, every single major tech revolution in history has been a double-edged sword. And this one is forcing us to face some of the biggest challenges we have ever had to deal with. We're talking about our jobs, our privacy, and just basic, fundamental fairness.
Let's talk jobs first. On the one hand, yeah, automation makes companies more productive, and that can be great for the economy. That's the benefit. But the challenge is huge. As these AI systems and robots get better and better at doing repetitive work, millions of people's jobs could just disappear. And that is a massive, massive problem for society to solve.
All right, then there's privacy.
Every single one of those smart devices, in our homes, on our wrists, is a sensor, and it's collecting data all the time. Data about our habits, where we go, our health, even what we say. That information is worth a fortune, which brings up a really big question. Who actually owns all that data about you, and what are they doing with it?
And this one is a bit more subtle, but it's super important. AI bias. Look, an AI is only as good as the data you train it on. So if the data we feed it is full of our own human biases about race or gender or anything else, guess what? The AI is going to learn those exact same biases. And that's how you end up with an AI making really important decisions about things like who gets a job or who gets a loan that are completely, systematically unfair, even if no one intended it to be.
And this is where we move past just the technical problems and into some really deep philosophical questions. We're not just building hammers and screwdrivers anymore. We're building systems that make choices on their own. And that means we have to face some really tough human dilemmas.
I mean, just think about this one. A self-driving car gets into an accident. Who's to blame? Is it the owner who wasn't even touching the wheel? Is it the car company that built it? Or is it the software engineer who wrote the code that made that final decision? There is no simple answer to that. None.
And this really gets to the core of it all. It's basically the old trolley problem, but now we have to program the answer into a machine. So let's say a crash is about to happen. It's unavoidable. Does the car's programming tell it to protect its passenger no matter what? Or does it say, sacrifice the passenger to save a group of pedestrians? And the biggest question of all is, who gets to make that choice? Who writes that moral code?
And that right there is why this conversation is so critical. The source material puts it perfectly. The technology itself isn't good or bad. It's neutral. It can do amazing things for us. But if we don't have clear ethical guidelines, if we don't have some rules of the road to guide how we build this stuff, we could end up creating some really serious problems down the line. Which kind of leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? It's not enough for our future to be smart. We, the people creating it and using it, we have to be wise. As we weave all this technology into the very fabric of our lives, we have to be intentional. We have to actively decide what kind of future we really want. So the question for all of us is, how do we make sure that our smart future is also a wise one? That's the challenge ahead.